I'll be covering defeating enemies fills the art gauge, and hopefully it's a regular balancer, so I can also add this into my guide. Yeah, pretty much the whole point is gonna focus on... Okay, so the background for this video is seeing like a Reddit post with someone struggling at Def 2. He said that like all the POIs have red enemies, everywhere it goes there's red enemies and you can't get anything done. But one of the ways you get around the difficulty of the expedition is with defeating enemies fills art gauge. So in my build I have 2 of them, so I'll get my art gauge like super fast. And I don't want people to always just take my word for it. It's pretty much every Depth 5 player. Okay, that's unfortunate. Pretty much every Depth 5 player has this in their build because it provides you a lot more value than like 25% damage can, because it does multiple things. One, it lets you stance break. Oh, sorry. One, it lets you stance break. Whoops. Agreed. One that lets you stance break the bosses, so your teammates can damage the bosses. It lets you deal with the early balancers raid. Essentially lets you skip entire boss fights and save a bunch of time. So I guess we can showcase that, and it helps you choose the Night Invaders as well. So I think my ult will do like 20-30% damage to the Night Invader. And pretty much every single Nightfarer gets value out of it. Raider is probably the worst value, but it's still good on him. And also lets you solo POIs as well, even when you're in trios. But as you can see, we did 20% damage on the Guardian. I lost my passing, so I'm going to be a little bit careful here, but I do want aggro so my Revenant can cast. And then there's a bleed proc for more damage. And since he's not aggroed on me, I can just whack him. And I don't think Guardian gives that good of passives, actually, on his Nightfarer weapon, but let's see. Yeah, none of these are really going to help. But at least get something decent to fight. I actually want to build my ult first before fighting these, but if Revenant has ult, then I can go in. And I have a pretty generic build, so I can just go full melee or focus on skills if I want to. And I still have Revenant's vulnerability, and that's the power of having your ultimates up for the first POI. So this is really powerful for me for tankiness, since I might have to duo. For my next step, I think I just want to go to castle immediately. Because we lost a player, and I'm not sure if he's ever going to be back. We're not going to be able to clear as many POIs, so castle just has a ton of value for dormant powers, so I'm just going to focus on that. That's what I do in solo, is that I go to castle at level 3. And since it's the Banished Knights, we can also deal with them pretty easily. So I can kill like random trash mobs, and that'll fill up my Revenant's art gauge, or ultimate gauge. Mine's already filled because I have double setup, but I wouldn't recommend the double setup. I think 1 is enough, but this is just for fun. It is useful. It's even really nice on Recluse. So yeah, just... I don't know how to describe this Relic line, but I would weight it as more important than 24% damage for Demon Knight. It doesn't help you on the boss except for Everdark Libra, but it lets you skip so much of the difficulty during the day. And I'm actually hoping that the other player doesn't come back, because... Alright, I also play worse when I'm talking, so this is not going to be the best Wylder gameplay. I hope the other player doesn't come back because... Sorry for the voice crack. I hope the other player doesn't come back, because one of the struggles that two players have is leavers. So usually people who leave at depth 5 just have some weird issue, not like rage quitting. So yeah. So as Wylder, it's my job to take aggro as much as I can so that Revenant can do damage. And that'll be the same thing for the Balancer's fight. So the problem with taking HP on successive attacks is that it makes my successive bubble a little bit harder to trigger. However, it gives me some sustain, which can be useful. So it's a trade-off. For some reason, it does that. Let's check this chest. Okay, I'm gonna give that to the Revenant eventually. And yeah, I need to be taking aggro here. Luckily, Revenant also has summons. And Wylder's pretty tanky because of the passive. Just get rid of this guy. Because my Arc Age is gonna fill up quick, it doesn't really matter. I wasted it on one guy. Oh, I should have given that to the Revenant as well. Okay. But I'm sure they'll find other passives. The reason I'm using the 4th Greatsword here is just as a melee to do damage, especially Wylder, is bleed procs or cross procs. Instead of just whacking the shield. My Arc Gauge is almost up, so we can clear both of these guys. I think I'm talking a little bit too much. Okay, that's good for me. Does my... doesn't have damage negation. Another thing about opening chests is that it's really low effort for potential good items. So you can see here, this could be interesting. And as you saw, we got some decent items from opening chests for a little effort. I don't know if they do not want it. Okay, I'll take it. There is a red Banished Knight somewhere, and that's going to be our goal. And then we can kill these dogs. Could be on this side or the other side. Oh wait, we already killed it. Never mind. That's not as important. So I'm going to get rid of this other Dormant Power. There's one on the other side, so I prefer to clear the other side and then go over here, but it doesn't really matter. Another nice thing about duos as Wylder is that you will stance break a lot more than trios for whatever reason. Okay, this will make you a lot more tanky. I guess it's just the way they scale trios, so normally those wouldn't stance break. And a couple things I'm thinking about is helping my Revenants get a Smithing Stone, and I think we're gonna kill these. In trios, I would definitely kill these dogs, but in duos, you have less time to clear POIs, or you can clear POIs a little bit slower than trios, so it might not actually be worth it, the opportunity costs. Keep pressing the wrong button. Okay. So yeah, I think we might try and kill them, honestly. It's not really gonna help me that much. But they are kinda... This one's tough for me to make. We're gonna be able to kill them. Okay. My pathing is to go kill this one. Help my Revenant get their Smithing Stone. I got some nice damage negation, so we don't really need to hunt for that many items now. So yeah, let me see how this will go. Oh yeah, for defeating enemies for those Archgage, it's gonna be even nicer, because I can probably stance break Gladius or the dog in one shot. So let's see how this goes. In solos, I can definitely, and I think Sacred Order would be good here. Ah, I miss. Oh well. I'm gonna double hook shot to try and get my Successive bubble ready. I keep pressing the wrong button. The pathing is gonna be tough on this. I really don't like doing the dogs until you get a good set of items, and we did, so yeah, so there's a big opportunity cost to them and little benefits. But if you're like triple melee, then it's really nice. Okay, we're not gonna be able to clear them. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I don't think it's even worth our time because we don't get anything out of this. Yeah, my timing was off on the circle there. I don't know if we can really kill the other one, but I guess it's just free runes. And this fire is really annoying. They should disappear shortly here. Yeah. I'll help the Revenant with this. I think I might go for a more melee build and tank build rather than a skill damage one. Because we're duos, Revenant's gonna be doing most of the damage anyway. And it's just important for me to stay alive so that they can do damage and I can take aggro, and I think they have less likely targeted, which is good too. I'm not gonna fight that. Just proc lead for extra runes and to fill my Archgage in case we fight any boss up here. So yeah, I really need to focus on damage negation, and I have like pretty much every single one you could ask for from a melee, but in the blue version. I don't want to fight a magma worm, so let's see what. That's a little bit risky. It's gonna be a little bit risky. We'll just honestly, I'm just gonna call it. We can just fight it later. We don't have to fight it now. Okay, Revenant wants to fight. That's fine. I keep forgetting this is also duos, so there's my easy stance break. So yeah, I'm just gonna help them try and proc bleed and not die, so that my Revenant can cast these heals off. Okay, so that's also gonna be really good, so this is gonna be real tough. Okay, okay. I don't know if they wanted me to revive them, so that's why I was hesitant. Okay, so it looks like that restoration from successive attacks is going to come in real handy here. So even though it takes a little bit longer to trigger my successive bubbles, at least I have a way to sustain besides Revenants here. And this is going to be Mohg, which is also going to be really tough. So I'm going to want as much damage negation as I can in duos to tank everything and get aggro. But that's why I didn't want to greed for the Royal Revenants. I should focus on stance breaking because Revenant has Beast Claw. With the ultimate, I can go in on this Curse Blade. So a nice thing about duos is that for some reason the scaling feels a lot easier. I don't know if it's just because of the numbers, but it's a lot easier than trios. Like stance breaking is easier, HP is much lower in the scaling versus 2. Like the relative scaling of 2 versus 3 players. For some reason it feels that way. But the catch is that you get a lot more aggro. So yeah, it's not all sunshines and rainbows. So I actually don't really want to fight the Magma Worm, but the reason being is because it's first circle close. But if we go fast, especially with the duo scaling, it should be okay. I guess this is a little mini guide on how to play duos, which is really nice as well. But yeah, as you can see, to stance break the Magma Worm, it's way harder to do on trios for whatever reason, so something's up with the scaling. So yeah, duos is not easy though, because of the aggro, but it can be easy, or in some ways. And I'm just trying to trigger bleed here, and with successive negation, I can just spam away. Hopefully that's a Wending Grace. Okay, that's... So, Mohg's Sacred Spear is really nice for DPSing, however, I don't know how that works if we both have less likely target, but I don't want to have it. Oh, Stone of Garrock is going to be really nice. So yeah, I'm really hoping this is a regular Balancers and not Everdark, so... But I'll drink this, I'll eat this just in case it is Everdark, because I think it'll still be a good demo video anyway. And I want to actually go for the Night Invaders instead of that, because... this one's a tough choice because Beast Claw goes great against Blackbait Kindred. However, I'm worried about where the first circle is going to close, and it could cut us off from the Night Invaders, and I think it's better to just go for the Night Invaders first and then go. But technically the Revenant could solo that if she wanted. So yeah, this is kind of a super min-max thing. We'll see whether my gamble is correct. Well, it's not really a gamble, it's just that we can always find another formidable boss or blood enemy, but we can't always just access the Night Invaders as easily. So, depending on where the circle is. So, like, let's say the circle ended here. Well, we could kill that red boss and be fine. So again, defeating enemies fills arc gauge. I'll have my ultimate up like multiple times. Wylder is really nice because you can proc your successive bubble like that. And I'm pretty tanky now that I have items, so I can probably just spam a little bit. But it's still def 5, and yeah, that can happen, so. Hopefully Revenant has ult up by now. Maybe I should have killed a few more trash mobs, whatever. Would have saved a little bit of time. Not sure what they're pinging for. Maybe they just wanted help to kill that guy. Didn't really get anything useful, sadly. But we did get our damage ups. Or did they have Night Raider? Yeah. But yeah, the reason why I'm giving up this enemy is because we can get other value elsewhere. And if we fight this field boss and these Night Invaders instead, we get another church out of it. So that's nice. The other thing I want to check is, I want to check Libra for the Rite of Blood class, because that's a big problem. And it looks like we could have done both anyway, so oh well. So killing the Blackblade Kindred there would have been just fine, because of where the circle ended. It's a pretty generous circle, actually. So with Revenant's ults, I can dig in a bit. I get my ults from whatever enemies we killed. We get a stance break. We get to skip a portion of this fight. Revenant gets to do damage while I'm critting. I'm really tanky because of all the damage negation passes I got. And we got nothing useful. Oh well. So our last remaining targets are gonna be Castle, this red boss, and this merchant and Libra. Because we've got pretty much everything we need. I don't know why I did that. I'm just getting this. And yeah, so we could go for the Blackblade Kindred there, but that costs a lot of time, whereas if we just focus on this area, I think we'll be fine. And especially since we're fighting Mohg, really want to see what this is. And we could also get some good stuff over here. So I like that they decided off of the Blackblade Kindred. I think that's a good move. Especially with the merchant down here. I want to get some more HP and more tanky stuff. And yeah, I'm going all in on it. And yeah, there it is. Not sure what they're pinging. I just want to check out the merchant so I get some more max HP from the urge free thing. And physical damage negation would be good too. And I can kind of get rid of this parry shield, but I kind of want to flex. I don't know. I could get another passive or I could flex. Again, I don't think I... Oh, there's another damage negation at 4 HP. I think that's going to be better than this. Yeah, I'm going all in on tank. And make sure we win. I really also want to counter this reduced damage negation after evading. I hate this. But yeah. I spent aggressively there because I don't know if you get a rune boost from duos. I think you do. So there's that. And we're not going to struggle for runes for 15. The difference between 14 and 15 is like one or two stats, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's nice. Oh, dang. They were fast with this. Okay. Oh. Oh, God. Okay, so I just need a second here. I think I could parry it, actually. But maybe stance break? Oh. I'm gonna make sure I get some more damage negation before I try to parry. Oh, there we go. And yeah, so as a melee, I'll do damage by spamming bleed, so focus on that. And I have my successive attack bubble. I do want to parry him just to flex, so. Okay, I should just pick up my teammate first. Okay, that's... I need to calm down. Okay, that's not a good look. But yeah, we'll be okay. This will give us a ton of runes, and we already have all the items we need. What I really need to do is... I don't know. Sometimes people just mess up, that's fine, whatever. I also probably should stop trying to aura farm with a parry. Maybe... I don't know. I could kill my mob to farm some heart gauge. That'll help me cheese the fight a little bit more and get that one stance break. Looks like Revenant's locked in now. I'll get my stance break here, hopefully, and then they'll give time for the Revenant to DPS. And I also get a window to proc lead. Where'd they get those smithies? It's actually really nice. I think I just have to take the aura loss of parrying. I'm debating so hard. I shouldn't risk this run just to try an aura farm. I should help this guy win. I'll aura farm when we're in trios. But I just wanted to flex that I can parry the balancers a bit. But not today, not for this video. I really want to get this video through, so there's no reason for me to troll this guy. If he was being toxic, maybe. Again, proccing bleed while my Revenant does a ton of damage. Stance damage with so much wrong. And that'll help with... I don't know, if they use Sono Gronk, it won't help them with that. It depends on what they want to do. I don't think they should bring their claws, in my opinion, but it's up to them. I would trade the 18% damage for the claws, but some reason, duos feels a lot weaker. The enemies feel a lot weaker than trios, like I mentioned before. So damage is not going to be everything at depth climb, especially when I already have increased max HP, so that would be good for that. So surviving is going to be the big goal here, since damage is not going to be really a problem for us. And just killing these for some extra runes, go up our gauge, so we can hit 15 and have some money to spend on a shot. Yeah, so Mohg is going to be different cults. And hopefully they bought the crystal tier. I don't know if this works. Oh, it does? Okay, nice. I didn't know it worked on Sanguine Noble, so probably not the boss version. Oh, and the bleed resist helps for Mohg too, I guess. Let me think here. So if I want to trigger successive attacks, I'll use the fist, but the clinging bones have a really short range, so I'm gonna be using the pole blade. If you really wanted to, you could kill some of these mobs for more runes, but I think we're gonna be good on runes. Is there a monster? Is there a line? What is going on here? Oh, maybe it was a bewitching branch. Might be a bug with a bewitching branch, so I guess we'll just have to wait. But yeah, I feel really strange because I'm talking so much and not focusing on gameplay, which kind of sucks. But the whole idea is I just stay alive while my Revenant does damage with less likely to be targeted. How does a charge attack look with this? Yeah. How long is the speed? Yeah, I feel like the speed of the charge attack is better with the great sword. But I don't really want to use Holy. There's a bouncer, so what about this? %. So yeah, bleed works really well, even though Mohg is just a fire. I might save my ult for after cast Rite of Blood, because that's when it's most difficult. I need to be careful here. Don't drink the Rite of Blood. First thing I want to do is ult him with some poise break. He's going to do more damage. We clear these so that we don't get killed when they activate. I trigger bleed. Balancers help me out there. I need to stay alive, so I'm kind of in a bad spot right now. And yeah, I think there's something about duo scaling that makes it. Oh my goodness, that scared the crap out of me. There's something about duo scaling that makes this fight that much easier. But my goal is to just tank and stay alive. So yeah. Honestly, didn't need that extra level. Oh, I should have gotten more warming stones. But I actually have some sustain. I wish I had more starlight shards, but I'm broke. So we'll just make do. Again, I'm not relying on skills as Wylder because successive attacks is really nice. However, if you get twin blades or rivers of blood, it's also a really nice way to get damage and tankiness. So yeah, I'm just gonna focus on taking aggro and staying alive and damaging what I can. But I know that Revenant is gonna be doing most of it, so I need to not get hit like that so easily. And like that easily. And I will try to damage, but it's not gonna be a high priority for me. Oh my goodness, that's such a waste of HP. I'm doing the worst of my job right now. I just need to take a choke kill for a second. Maybe I should have gone with the parry shield. I want to try and take advantage of Sebastian's aggro. But I already burned 3 flasks for no good reason, which I'm pretty disappointed about. Bouncer Relic helped me there. So I play it slow, no lead to lose another flask to this guy while my Revenant does damage. Based on how they're not transitioning, it's gonna be... Oh, okay, it is regular bouncers. Amazing, so I really gotta lock in here. I'm gonna try to take aggro and run. So the way to deal with this is slow sprints, or just tank it all. And you can block this. So I want to focus on getting aggro from the leader. I'll try to stance break her, but that just wasted my passive. I don't know what they're pinging for. You need to focus on staying alive though. So yeah, I'm just gonna focus on staying alive here. I can't really get any under damage. I don't know what my Revenant is doing. Okay, there we go. She's helping. Okay, there we go. I'm panicking a bit because this video is really important to me. Sorry, Revenant. You're doing great. I don't know who it has aggro on. So to actually dodge these, you have to dodge like the after explosion. Not the initial hit. Again, I'm just gonna focus on staying alive. I don't know which one this is, but if it's a spear, the best way to dodge it. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is really risky. Yeah, so this is the tough part about duos is aggro. I pretty much can't find any good time to do damage here. Especially with the less likely to be targeted. I think that's a spear, so I got a side straight. I'm just oh god, it's not good. Ugh, sorry. I think my commentary also makes me worse. I'm gonna blame that part of it. Hopefully the Revenant can clutch up here. Great. I just need them to do damage while I'm running. So I need to get back the aggro. Hopefully they can dodge that. I don't have any more flash, so I cannot get hit here. Also need to get aggro from this guy so my Revenant can start damaging the other balancers. Because right now the Revenant can't get any damage on. But they're doing a great job. Trying to see if I can proc leave before they leave. Okay. There's not to lock in here. Revenant's gonna... Okay. Sorry. They did a great job. I was a little scared because this is a really important video for me that I've been trying to get for a long time. But yeah, the strategy with the quitter. So this video helps with a couple of things. Pathing with duos, me doing my role as a Wylder to tank and take aggro in duos while my Revenant focuses on damage. Defeating enemies fills art gauge, lets us skip certain POIs or stance break the bosses so we can kill them faster. And when we, as you saw with the Bell-Bearing Hunter, every time my ult up, I could stance break the Bell-Bearing Hunter due to duo poise scaling and such like that. So yeah, and I'm a Revenant main. I think I only have 70 expeditions in Wylder, so I did kind of bad this fight, but I did do most of my job, except for getting downed once and losing 3 flasks at the beginning for no reason. This Revenant did a great job staying alive and doing damage, while I took on the aggro. So yeah, that's why I was kind of nervous, because I've been trying to get this video for months to fill in my last slot in my guide. So yeah, thanks Revenant, you did a great job and helped me with this video. As you can see, other Depth 5 players have defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge for a reason. Not just me saying that it's good, it's just good for the whole team. One thing that I briefly mentioned was that for for the Balancer's Raid, some people really hate it, but I actually really like it. Because with defeating enemies fills art gauge, anytime your teammate kills an enemy, it'll fill your art gauge even though you're across the map. So another powerful reason to have this line. It's pretty much, in my opinion, like mandatory to have one line. Obviously, you can win without it. There are some games where 1 or 2 people don't have it. But it feels like you're actually trolling if you don't bring it on like Iron Eye, and I've seen that too. And the reason why that kind of bothers me is because they pick something else over it, the opportunity cost of picking a different relic line. So they'll pick something like 10% or 12% more physical attack. But a lot of attacks in this game are split damage. So you're not even getting like 12% attack. You're getting like split 12% attack. Whereas if you got defeating enemies fills more of the art gauge, which does not give you damage, but it does give you damage in ways that it helps you cheese the difficulty of the expedition bosses, and that saves you time. It helps you revive your teammates. It helps avoid you dying to the bosses as much due to all the stance breaks, and giving your teammates damage windows. So I guess that's kind of my rant. If you want you want to take away from this video, what to do when you got a quitter or a rage quitter. I don't think this person's a rage quitter. They probably just, I don't know why they DC'd, but it could be any number of reasons. I take on my role as Wylder because duo scaling is pretty forgiving for the amount of aggro you have to share. So that's why I just focused on staying alive that whole fight, while my Revenants had less likely to be targeted and could kill bouncers in like 1 or 2 shots. And the Revenant did have to clutch up for my mistake, so that's really important that you can do that too, even as a caster. And yeah, that's pretty much this video. I can show my expeditions of Wylder as well. I think I have more stuff I can rant on, actually. I don't think that's really good. That's nice, I guess. That's nice. Not nice. Okay, but not worth it. Okay, I'm gonna go on a rant. That's not the point of this video. Let me see how many expeditions I have on Wylder. I don't know how to do that. Okay, I have 91 on Wylder now, and 774 on Revenant.